Well, a Democrat-controlled city announced $45 million in funding for programs to help deal with the increasing number of illegals flowing in. It is resulting in over $8 million in the budget cuts for the police department. Denver Mayor Mike Johnson announcing the package last week, which intends to fully fund programs for illegal aliens brought in by the Biden administration. Nice job, Mr. Mayor. Denver's police department will have its budget slashed by $8.4 million in total, nearly 2% of its budget. Oh, and here's the kicker. Nearly $5 million of that will come from restricting hiring for open positions because they're not fully staffed. Yeah, that's because that makes a lot of good sense in this world. To fund the police who serve and protect our communities, to support illegals who are here as criminals already as soon as they step foot on the ground. Beautiful. Here to discuss it is a man who is from Denver, Matt Barber, currently an author and attorney. Also, he was a police officer in the 90s in the Mile High City. Matt, nice to see you.
Good to see you, Steve. Thanks for having me on.
You know, I looked at this story a day or two ago and I said, this can't be real. And it's real. They're cutting the police force while you're importing a lot of these folks, as we've seen all over the country. They're criminals. You have organized gangs coming into high-end areas of Michigan and Illinois and Ohio and robbing people blind all over the East Coast, too. These Brazilian gangs, these Chilean gangs, these Venezuelan gangs, they come in organized. They know how to stop the security systems and go in and rob people blind. You got that. You see the murder of Lake and Riley and everything else. And this is the time to cut your money for the police department? I think the priorities might be a little askew. What do you think?
It's just unbelievable, isn't it? And of course, the mayor bristles when you call it what it is, a program to defund the police. And it's to the detriment of tax-paying citizens of Denver and the surrounding metro area, and to the benefit of those whom you describe, these fighting age young men, the vast majority of them. And the mayor's office uses this just euphemistic language. They call them asylum seekers. They call them newcomers. They're not asylum seekers. They're economic opportunists, and or they're here for much more sinister motives. So to call them asylum seekers, to call them newcomers, that's like calling an axe murderer a lumberjack. I mean, the twisting of the English language by the Democrat Party lately to try to justify this open door policy, this mass invasion, and that's what it is, of these fighting age men from not just the Central America and South America.
We've got Chinese nationals. We've got nationals from Africa. We just played earlier in the program, Matt, in case you missed it, some folks going to the New York City Council meeting to complain with a translator that their food wasn't good enough. They needed better housing. Their transportation wasn't great. And they needed a better educational system. Oh, and by the way, New York is also xenophobic and racist. These are the people that came here. I said, you could have stayed home. I'm just throwing it out. You could have stayed home, right? Where am I wrong?
No, it's like we're living in an alternate universe, and up is up, and up is down, and down is up. But this is not the time in Denver or any of these other blue cities where they've been defunding police, where police are besmirched and attacked. And believe me, as a former Denver metro area police officer, I can tell you the crime is worse. We used to be able to take our family to the 16th Street Mall and other places. Now there are people doing drugs on the street. There are illegal immigrants that are pushing out disabled veterans from
Let me jump in there, Matt. Let me ask you this. Didn't I just see last week people from Denver telling the illegals that are showing up, hey, there's no more room at the end. Here's a bus ticket. Here's a plane ticket. Do you want to ride to the Canadian border? Jump on. We'll take you there. I mean, you're doing this, plus you're funding it all. And the Democrat mayor, this clown, says, well, it's Donald Trump's fault. It's Republicans' fault. I'm sorry. Is he down there on 6th Street or wherever it is smoking some of that grass? What's going on?
Well, very, very possibly, I'll tell you, or at least in the confines and comfort of the mayor's office, But listen, Steve, something has got to be done. It's not going to be done until the election. God forbid we have 4 more years of Joe Biden. You and I both know that this is a strategy. it's intentional. It's to increase the census to get more seats in Congress for Democrats, and ultimately to have unchecked voters, illegal immigrant voters, voting Democrats into office. That's the plan.
Unchecked power. Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
that's it, to have one party rule. The whole goal here is to strangle America. You know, look, I wrote a column 10 years ago that I thought that California at that time had 5, 6, maybe 7 seats in Congress they were not deserving of because of illegal aliens living in California at the time. Well, that problem has spread out. Now, you got California, Texas, Florida, Illinois, New York, all of the places where you have concentrations and big numbers of illegals. And there could be as many 20 seats in Congress that are not deserving. And so if you live in a state like North Dakota or Michigan like I do, you're getting screwed politically, I think is the proper term, because we're not getting the representation we deserve because non-citizens, illegal people are getting representation in Congress when I'm not. What a disgrace.
Not to mention gift cards to go shopping and buy beer and whatever else they want. It is.
Yeah,
it is
but the
absurd.
gift cards aren't big. And hold on, Matt. The gift cards are not big enough. Food is not good enough. The beds are not soft enough. The rooms are not nice enough. I mean, come on, Matt. Have a heart. What are you, xenophobic?
Yeah, right. You know, but the good news is the American people, even frankly, Democrats across the country, are waking up to this. Biden's numbers are plummeting on this issue. People are getting upset, and for every dollar that they take away from a United States veteran who needs it, from a homeless shelter, from displacing people in need who are, American citizens, for every single one of those instances, I think you're getting 1 or 2, even Democrats that are saying something has got to change here. And that's why you're seeing this mass shift of Hispanics and African Americans moving over across the aisle to the Republican Party and to Donald Trump.
And young people too. Matt, always a good conversation. We could talk more about this, but I feel sorry for Denver. It seems to be in worse shape than many. And that's the way it is, I guess. We'll talk again soon, my friend.
Thank you, my friend.
All right. Look, he's been on the streets here. He gets it. And, it's just an absolute mess.